Good morning. I'd like to welcome you to our online service this morning, or this afternoon. It's on March the 22nd, 2020, here at Tacoma Buddhist Temple. With all of the things that are going on in the news today, we figured that it would be a good idea to put things online. And so this is our first service that we'll be conducting amidst the coronavirus situation. And I would like to begin today's service with the Gassho, with next the Vandana Tisarana, which is on page 167 in the Shin Buddhist Service Book. Junirai, which is on page 167, and then followed by the Dharma message, then the Threefold Refuge, Daisanmon, and then Ondok-san. I will go through and mention each page number on the Shin Buddhist Service Book before we go through each one. Okay, thank you very much. Begin with the Vandana Tisarana, which is on page 167 of the Shin Buddhist Service Book. Next, we'll have Sutra Chanting Junidai on page 67.
修
Please join me in Gassho. From the Contemplation Sutra, it states, "The Buddha's mind is great compassion. It is with this unconditional compassion that they embrace all beings. 仏心とは大慈悲これなり、無縁の慈をもって諸々の衆生を接したものと、ナマンダス、ナマンダス、ナマンダス、ナマンダス." Good morning. Our recent news about our society, our world, has been rather dire. There is a lot of confusion and anxiety surrounding whether we can remain healthy. Similarly, the state of our economy is growing more volatile, and people's livelihoods are being thrown into jeopardy. This creates added anxiety and concern for our families and loved ones. Unfortunately, in our tradition, we do not have any kind of petitionary prayer or good luck charms or special incantations that can provide a better outcome for us. We don't have any secret chants that can alter the course of history or bring good luck to us. So then, what is the point of our religion? Why be a Shin Buddhist? What does Shin Buddhism provide its listeners, its adherents, its followers? Every year during the summer, I go to do what's called ohakamairi, or memorial gravesite service for past members and their families and loved ones. There's one gravesite that we go to, which is in the city of Eatonville in Washington. And in the far back of that cemetery, there is a Japanese-American section where a lot of the Issei people are buried. Most of the graves in that section are very old, and we today have kind of little direct ties to the people buried there anymore. But we still go there and clean that section of the grave. If you look at some of the tombstones, some of the areas where the rocks mark off the buried person, the area is very small, or it's very short in length. And these are the places where there are children who are buried there, who died at 1, 2, or 5 years of age. If you look at when they died, it is about 1917 or 1918. And of course, that is, I heard from people that that is around the time when the Spanish flu devastated the world in the early 20th century. I looked a little bit this up a little bit and found out that around 500 million people were infected, and about 20 to 50 million people had passed away. And that's about a third of the population of the world at the time. That's a devastating number of people who died. And I can't imagine being the parent who died, whose child died from that terrible illness. The helplessness they must have felt and sheer sadness is beyond words. But going there, cleaning the area, and finally doing omairi is such a precious and profound time and experience for me. Before becoming the minister for Tacoma, I would never think to go there. And even as a minister, I would not be there if it weren't for the connection that the previous members of our temple had with that place. The grave is in a very remote area. And on top of that, the Japanese-American section is in a very remote part of that area. So there is hardly a reason for me to be there. Yet, when I go there, I have this weird feeling of being grateful to these bodhisattvas for teaching me the importance of hearing and listening to Buddha Dharma. The word arigatai, which I will leave for another time to talk about in more depth, but it's not just being thankful as it is translated in modern Japanese language. Arigatai acknowledges the infinite causes and conditions that lead us to where we go in life. Arigatai is for moments like these where we have this poignant, powerful, moving feeling of being shown a profound lesson in life. Arigatai is not always a nice feeling. Actually, many times it's a weird assortment of feelings, or different feelings bundled into one. So going back to that time in history during 1917, 1918, 1919, World War I is also occurring during that time, and so there's a lot of death. There's a lot of destruction and disease rampant during that time period. But I think much hasn't changed in terms of the anxiety that we as a human race have to face.
In addition, if you look at to 2,500 years ago, during the time of Shakyamuni Buddha, he talks about the 4 kinds of suffering: birth, old age, sickness, and death. This is what spawns his spiritual search. Continuing on, if you look at 12th to 13th century Kyoto, Japan, we see Shinran Shonin facing the same situations, right? Death, old age, sickness, right? Destruction all around him. And if you move forward onto the 14th century or 15th century Japan, we see with Renyo Shonin the same situation: death, disease, destruction, famine, these things. When we see the uncertainty that is occurring in our world right now, Buddhism tells us that in fact our sense of certainty or stability, if anything, is what is false. We want things to stay the same and to not change, where we are always in control and know what to expect. This is the norm that we expect and the life we selfishly demand. But Buddhism has been telling us that this is not the case, and the sooner we come to grips with that, the more clearly we can see that we can see this life. Shinran Shonin then adds to the conversation and says how difficult it is for the average person to be able to understand this point of coming to grips with the realities of life. So then, how do we come to understand this world of delusion and suffering? How can we come to grips with this life where it seems like all of the odds are against us? It is in these times of uncertainty when the Buddha's call to us becomes louder. It is in the solitude of our self-confinement and social distancing that the silence and abrupt break from our normal routine forces us to think about what this life is about. This life is not just about owning a bunch of stuff. This life is not about exerting control and influence over others. This life is not about who can gain access to resources and maintain control over those resources over others. This life is not about satisfying the ego self and endless attachments. Instead, this life is about awakening to a greater reality that embraces all beings. This life is about understanding that despite the constant suffering and delusion in the world, there is meaning, there is hope, there is solace. This life is about awakening to a world of warm embrace. As Shin Buddhists, we know that world to be one of great compassion. It is the Buddha's world, where the depth of the Buddha's compassion knows no bounds. It is the world of the infinite that not only contrasts our world of the finite, but it also embraces our finitude as well. Let us use this time of social sobriety to reflect further on the world of great compassion and Amida Buddha's call for us to awaken to this reality. Namo Amida Butsu. Please join me in Gassho. The Contemplation Sutra states, "The Buddha's mind is great compassion. It is with this unconditional compassion that they embrace all beings. Busshin to wa dai jihi kore nari. Muen no ji o motte moro moro no shujo o seshita mo to." Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you very much. Next, I would like to go into the threefold refuge, and followed by the Daisanmon. The threefold refuge is on page 10 of the Shin Buddhist service book. The threefold refuge. Difficult is it to receive a human form, now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the Dharma of the Buddha, now we hear it. If we do not cross over to the truth in the present life, in what life shall we cross over? Let us, with sincerity and true reverence, take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we, together with all sentient beings, awaken to the great way of enlightenment and to the unsurpassed intent of Amida Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we, together with all sentient beings, enter the storehouse of the Dharma, becoming like the wisdom ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we, together with all sentient beings, become units in true accord, in harmony with all things. The peerless, profound, and wondrous Dharma is rare to encounter, even in many hundreds and thousands of kalpas. Now we are privileged to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of the Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Next, I would like to go to page 6 or page 7. 人参受けがたし今すでに行く仏法聞きがたし今すでに聞く好み根性に向かってどせずんばさらにいずれの章に向かってか好みをどせん大衆もろともに指針に参謀に帰依し立て祀るべし自ら仏に帰依し立て祀るまさに願わくば主情とともに大道を体芸して無常意を起こさん自ら法に帰依し立て祀るまさに願わくば主情とともに深く教蔵に入りて知恵海のごとくならん自ら僧に帰依し立て祀るまさに願わくば主情とともに大衆を通りして一切無下ならん無常人人未明の方は百千万号にも愛おうことがたし我今検問し授事することを得たり願わくは如来の真実義を下し立て祀らんナマンダナマンダウスナマンダウスナマンダウス
We will close with Ondok-san on page 220, 221 on the Shin Buddhist service book. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please subscribe to the Tacoma Buddhist Temple YouTube channel. That will conclude today's service for March 22nd, 2020. We will try to continue this for every week for the time being. And until next time, please be well. Thank you very much.